With me from Shefa Gems on Skype today, I'm joined by James Campbell. James, nice to catch up. Good to see you.
Good afternoon, Andrew. Nice to see you too.
Essentially, it's a two-pronged announcement from Shefa Gems today. Firstly, the renewal of the exploration permits. Remind us, this covers zones 2 and 3, does it?
It covers actually 3 areas, Andrew. Yes, zones 2 and 3, which are part of our exploration in addition to zone 1, but also the volcanic bodies on Mount Carmel itself, which our listeners will know is part of the primary source of the precious stone suite, where we are currently exploring in zones 1 and 2 and then zone 3.
And on zone 1, James, you mentioned there, as far as the operational update aspect to the announcement, how's work towards getting this mining license?
It's actually going very well, Andrew. As many of our listeners will know, that Israel is not host to a sophisticated and developed mining infrastructure. So we're very much the guinea pigs in the area itself. But over the years, our management on Israel itself, our CEO Avi and our COO Verid, have maintained very close links with the mining ministry, with the environmental ministry too as well, because that's an absolutely vital thing, taking them all the way through from our early stage of conceptual geological work into our drilling and bulk sampling work. And when we compiled the technical and economic evaluation towards the end of last year, we took them through it as well. So far, so good in terms of the application for a mining license over zone 1.
And you'd ideally be looking to be mining, is it the early part of next year?
That's correct. You know, we're calling it trial mining because if one looks at the SAMREC code, we do not have an indicated resource, and by definition, if you don't have an indicated resource, you can't be officially mining. So we're looking at trial mining, and we're looking at trial mining at a rate of 100 tons per hour, using a slightly upgraded version of the equipment we actually already have in place at our facilities in Akko on the Mediterranean coastline.
And remind me, what's the work program focusing on for the other zones, zone 2?
Zone 2, we announced fairly recently that we have completed the bulk sampling program on zone 2, and we said that over the course of the next 3 months, we would then announce the results of zone 2. But so far, the geology looks very similar to zone 1, and the grades of the precious gems, precious stones, also look very similar. So essentially, how we would view this from a strategic perspective is that as we commence mining on zone 1, we would then look to extend the life of that mine by going into zone 2.
And what about the plans for zone 3?
Zone 3 is very much a virgin area at the moment, Andrew, but geologically, from a conceptual perspective, it looks very similar to zone 1 and zone 2. And our plans towards the end of this year and going into next year would be to drill something like 120 30-meter holes in the zone, and then follow that up by a series of trenches, which would be bulk sampled and then processed through our Akko facility to release the precious stone suite.
Well, of course, you and I have spoken on a number of occasions, tracking the progress that you've been making. Not everybody, though, familiar with the story at Shefa Gems. How would you describe the company itself? What's the appeal?
Andrew, it's a very unique company. I'm sure many companies say exactly the same to you. It has a mine-to-market strategy in that we have explored and we have plans to trial mine a unique suite of precious stones which are found in the Holy Land of Israel. And within this suite, we have 2 specific minerals I'd like to mention. The first is moissanite. So this will be the first naturally producing moissanite mine in the world. In addition to this, we have a couple of sapphire varieties, one in particular, the Carmel sapphire, which is trademarked and unique to this particular area. So I've spoken about exploration. We're now looking at mining, and following the mining, we have our own processing facility in the town of Akko on the Mediterranean coastline. And we've recently announced that we've taken this all the way through to the market side by releasing a heaven on earth jewelry collection. which was developed by the famous Yossi Harari. And this is just one of many marketing channels which the board are currently looking at. So there we have a mine-to-market strategy of precious stones from the Holy Land of Israel. And just for your listeners' attention, that the colored stone market is actually a highly developed and sophisticated and growing market which we will be selling into.
James, just before I let you go then, as far as what investors should be looking out for upcoming news, further announcements, is it those results from the bulk sampling at Zone 2?
Yes, no, we will start to announce the results of Zone 2, the bulk sampling grade results. And of course, we would like to keep our investors fully up to steam in terms of the regulatory approvals around a mining license on Zone 1 itself. And then following that, our plans as we start to develop that trial mining operation on Zone 1.
Good to see you, James. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed for your time, Andrew, and all the best.